just learned not even minutes ago that a command officer was struck by a rock. We had another officer that was on a bike patrolling when a vehicle came very close purposely to hit him. That person's in arrest. As of right now, we've arrested 6 males, 3 females, and of that number, the majority, I want to say 7 out of 9, are from outside of the city of Detroit. So here's my message. Let me just be clear. If you really believe that Black Lives Matter, we're still battling COVID. I'm a COVID survivor. African Americans are 2 to 3 times more likely to either get COVID or die from COVID. So do us a favor. If you live outside the city, why don't you protest in your hometown? If you do want to come down and make a statement, do it in a peaceful way. So this is not the vast majority. We had roughly 1,500 peaceful protesters here, all with a message. Some even commended the Detroit Police Department for the work that we do each and every day. But I will not stand by and let a small minority of criminals come in here, attack our officers, and make our community unsafe. Just know we're not going to tolerate it.
The one arrest, I don't know if it was the first one at Rosa Parks in Michigan. Can you tell us what he was arrested for, and was he also...
I'm not certain about that. I just know that the one arrest where there was a pursuit on the freeway was the individual who tried to run over a police officer. That person was arrested. And oh, by the way, to the young man who thought he could get away with ripping the windshield out of one of our police cars, we do know who you are.
So whoever did that is still out there?
He's still out there, but we know who he is. And we know he lives outside the city. And so we're going to go out to the city to make that arrest.
Just one squad car that was banged up? Or
there were several police cars that were damaged to various degrees. Again, except for the one command officer who's being transported to a local hospital. No officers have been injured except for the one.
Chief, we see these violent protests across other states.
Yes.
Not yet here. How concerned are you tonight about looters and rioting here in the city?
I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about the safety of the people who want to peacefully protest. I'm concerned about our police officers. I'm aware of what's going on in other parts of the country. Again, many of the protesters at the beginning of the protests supported this department. It wasn't until a small faction who came in late and wanted to disrupt. They have been taunting the Detroit police officers for at least the last hour to hour and a half.
Chief, we're concerned about that officer that was struck with a rock. Do you know his injuries at this time?
I don't. This was, as you saw the units leaving with their lights and siren, they were responding. There was an officer down call, and he was being transported by an outside unknown on his entrance. But again, this does not represent the vast majority of Detroiters who came here to make a statement. I want to also thank many of our community leaders, Detroit 300, Tafari Brent. That's just to name a few. We've had so many people who support the work that we do, and they respect the fact that we support the message, but let's do it peacefully. And if you live outside the city of Detroit, leave it home. Do not come here. That's my message. And again, if you're really about Black Lives Matter, you come into Detroit unmasked, carrying the virus, it's deadly, then what are we doing?
All the people I talked to today, they said they don't have a problem with Detroit police, but it was just a kind of a national protest against.
I understand that, and it's
you feel
okay.
Like you've kind of made a good connection with the community, I guess.
I love this community, and we work very well with this community. And we know that the individuals from outside the city of Detroit who converged at the protest location don't represent this city. They're not from this city. And so I'm just asking for all Detroiters to continue to support us. Let's peacefully protest. But outside of that, we're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to tolerate criminal acts.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, thank you.
Well, you just heard from Detroit Police Chief James Craig saying that 2 officers were attacked tonight, one of them hit by a rock, having to be treated at a hospital. Several police cars also damaged. The chief saying that there were roughly 1,500 peaceful protesters earlier today, but several others were arrested tonight. The chief saying that most of those in custody right now are not from Detroit. He goes on to say, quote, "If you are really about Black Lives Matter, don't come to the city in the middle of a pandemic without a mask."